we have to realize gambling is an addiction. So the addiction of it is what makes you make illogical decisions.
You're making me mad right here.
Well, I could make you mad and you can make me mad. I just have my opinion. You're going to have yours.
The reason I'm mad at Kenny is, man, this ain't got nothing to do with damn gambling addiction. This ain't got nothing to do with addiction. These dudes are stupid.
Why are they stupid?
Under no circumstances can you fix basketball games. Under no circumstances. I love to gamble. The notion, like, Rozier makes $26 million. Him betting, giving people information or taking himself out of games, how much money is he gonna make?
Well, if he did that, you're proving my point.
What do you mean? That
means
that's
that
not
it's an illogical thought process. No. If you're making $26 million to try to win 50,000, like that's illogical. So that you're proving my point.
No, that's not addiction. That's stupidity.
The same reason someone goes and uses drugs when they're in the NBA.
Hey, drugs are addiction.
So there's no gambling addiction?
No, yeah, they are gambling addiction. But the notion that you're trying to make sure these guys being addicted, you can't fix basketball games. You cannot fix. Like I say, this is separate from Chauncey, but the notion that guys are making all this money and giving information, come on, man, stop that. Ain't got nothing to do with addiction. That's just total stupidity on these two dudes' part.
Y'all, I am concerned, and I think we got a major problem with this NBA betting scandal. Now, if you didn't know, basketball player, NBA player Terry Rozier charged in a federal case for allegedly sharing non-public NBA information, like him leaving the game early because of an injury. Air quotes, by the way, for my listening audience. So others could bet on his underperformance. And then Chauncey Billups, former NBA player, now coach, he's accused in a related but distinct case tied to mafia-backed illegal poker games rigged with some technology that you and I don't know about, like shuffling machines, X-ray tables, X-ray contact lenses to see people's cards, and all of this with big money on the line. And Billups was allegedly used as the face for these games to attract players and to attract some big money. Now, both men, they are among 30 of indicted across 11 states in 2 large schemes, one for insider sports betting and one for rigged high-stakes poker games. Now, this is completely dumb to me, y'all, because why would you risk even a couple $100,000 over millions that you're making? And it's also dumb because you're gonna get caught. I don't understand with the technology available today. I don't understand why people do these things and why they don't think that they're not gonna get caught. There are so many forms of analytics and recordings and rats and just, it's too much at risk for you to do something stupid to get caught up in something that you didn't need to get caught up in. And look what you're putting at risk. Not only your career, but the league. Like the entire NBA is at risk right now. Not saying that the league is going to fold or anything like that anytime soon, but public trust in the league is very low right now because people are already skeptical of these betting lines and how they're losing money on this wild game or that wild game. And the thing with today is that people have actual proof of these things. There's a video floating around of Terry Rozier in one of the games that he threw with this betting scandal, and you can clearly see he's throwing the game, making half-hearted efforts and doing things he normally isn't doing in games. Like, I don't get how people don't think that they're not gonna get caught up. Like, eventually you are, and they let you build a case. This case had been going on for I think they said almost 2 years or something like that, with thousands of hours of evidence. And y'all, it concerns me not only with the public trust of sports and sports gambling, but also with youth and how they're taking in sports gambling and with people not knowing when enough is enough. Like I wonder about the self-control of some people, because I will admit, and I'm not telling people not to gamble, or I'm not trying to be a preacher man right now. I'm not trying to throw caution to the wind with anything, let alone sports betting. But I remember winning a couple $100 or whatever recently, and there is a feeling that you get. It is. This should be studied. I'm sure it has been studied or whatever. But there is a certain feeling that you get, like, damn, I won this. And it's almost a competitive type thing. And you feel good and you wanna go at it again, you wanna do it again. And it's almost the same thing when you lose a bet, because it's like, damn, I was this close from getting, this amount of money, or this, couple $100 here if I would have made an adjustment here, or pick this or pick, and it's like you want to try again. And that's where the addiction starts. And I really want to just encourage folks to just have some sort of guardrails for yourself when you're doing this. But betting now and how it's so wide open is we got to learn how to control this stuff, because betting used to be something that happened in the dark, and a lot of people were not exposed to it yet. Now with sports betting, boy, look, it's a part of the broadcast. It's a part of almost every major sports network. When you listen to podcasts, when you watch sports shows, when you watch talk shows with sports, anything related to it, you are going to be exposed to some sort of sports betting app, or enticed to bet your money on something. It's like every commercial break, every app notification, they pushing a parlay. And again, going back to the feeling that you get along with, you know, winning and losing the money, but watching the game while you're looking at your bet too, that's another thing that you got to think about when you're talking about sports betting and the addiction aspect, and how that too it plays a pivotal role in that. Cause it look, I ain't gonna lie, it's a rush. It is. It's an adrenaline rush. It brings excitement, but we have to learn again how to control that. And I don't know if we're there yet as a society in the United States. It could turn into an obsession real quick, and that's the problem. Some people just don't have the self-control, or they don't have the support around them to let them know, like, bruh, you need to chill. You making way too many runs to the bank recently, dog. And some people don't have that support to tell them that, what they're doing is leading them to a bad path. But what are the solutions with this? And right now, I'm not sure. I think maybe eliminating some of them individual player props where you can go over or under, points and all of this. I think eliminating that would go a long way into definitely taking away the enticement for the players themselves to, you know, to take a dive for a couple $100,000 or whatever the case may be. But these are some of the most addicting bets, because they feel winnable and they feel personal. And it's like you could do it on the fly. It's so accessible for you to do. But I think another thing is, setting daily or weekly betting limits, like mandatory betting limits for people. And then mandatory, maybe you have some cool off periods where you could encourage people to take a step back and not bet this week or not bet this month, or put some sort of restrictions on betting. Maybe there's a betting limit that some people have. I don't know, but some people need some help though. Some people need to have Big Brother lay the big hand down on them, because some people just don't have the discipline or knowledge to know when to stop. Maybe there could be mandatory warnings and check-ins on apps, just like tobacco or alcohol warnings. Betting apps should have maybe some reminders to learn about responsible playing. Some of them do. Do you listen or read it? I'm not sure. Probably not. But another thing that can help with this is from the league's perspective too. Transparency from the leagues. The NBA and NFL, they should all be public about how they monitor the players and the staff to keep the integrity of the games. They should be transparent about the rulings that they have on the field when it comes to penalties or when it comes to whatever call that they have. Just try and be as transparent as possible so that people don't think that something fishy is going on, not only with the players, but with the league themselves, because y'all already know there's so many conspiracy theorists out here that have their thoughts about, well, it's rigged and this player's doing this and this player, like this betting stuff got some of these people's mind messed up. Seriously. It's like it's a built-in excuse for people when they lose. Oh, they only lost because he was taking a dive, or I hate to hear some of the conspiracy theorists, and not to shut all conspiracy theorists down, because you do need voices that call out the bullshit that be happening sometimes. But I just don't like how the mindset of some fans are changing with gambling. And maybe that thing has always been there, and the gambling has unlocked the door and amplified their thinking and given them proper reason and concrete evidence as to why sports are rigged. But I just it's really changing the mindset of some people, y'all. But we got to make sure that this doesn't become another crisis, man. This is the last thing that we need right now, on top of all the problems that we got in society right now, especially for people who don't even have the resources to dig themselves out of a big hole once they fall in. So, but if you or somebody that you know is struggling with gambling addiction, there is help. There's a national problem gambling helpline, 1-800-GAMBLER. Is 24/7. It's confidential and it's free. Or you can go to 1-800-GAMBLERchat.org. You can chat, text, or call. It's no judgment. It's just support. So if you need that help, man, just don't be afraid to tap into that. We all got problems and we all got issues. It's just, man, the gambling one could lead you down to a very, very bad path. Not only with yourself financially, but with other things too that we know about. That at the end of the day, we love the game, football, basketball, sports, period, all of it. But when the money starts controlling the moment, we lose the joy that made us fans in the first place.